Have you ever made a decision that you regretted, only to feel stuck with it, unable to move forward? It feels like the choices you made in the past are now chaining you to a future you didn't expect. But what if I told you that true freedom lies not in undoing those choices, but in how you act in the present moment? Hi, I'm from the Stoic Way channel, and today we're exploring a powerful Stoic lesson: feeling trapped by choices you can't undo. Many of us feel weighed down by past decisions, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or even where we live. But Stoicism teaches us that we can find freedom through our actions in the present, rather than getting stuck in regret over past choices. In today's world, it's easy to feel stuck, especially when we think we can't change the past. We often trap ourselves in regret, believing that the decisions we've made have confined us to a life we didn't choose. But Stoicism reminds us that the present moment is always ours to shape, and it's in how we respond now that we find our power. In this video, we'll break down the wisdom behind Marcus Aurelius' quote, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason." We'll talk about how Stoicism can help us free ourselves from the chains of past regret, and how to use the power of present action to shape our future without being stuck in what's already been done. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below on a time you felt trapped by a past decision. How did you move forward? Let's explore this together. Let's reflect on this powerful quote from Marcus Aurelius: "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason." Marcus Aurelius, this quote speaks directly to the Stoic principle of focusing on the present moment and not being controlled by past mistakes or future uncertainties. We often get caught in the trap of regret for past choices or anxiety about future outcomes. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the only power we truly have is in how we choose to act in the present. When we feel stuck by decisions we've already made, whether it's about our career, relationships, or where we live, we often feel like we've lost control over our future. But Stoicism teaches us that we still have control over our actions. We can choose to respond with reason, clarity, and wisdom, no matter what's happened in the past or what we think the future holds. This Stoic mindset frees us from the chains of past regret and future worry, encouraging us to take control of the present and trust that, when challenges come, we can face them with the same tools of reason and calmness that we have today. We've just explored Marcus Aurelius' profound quote, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason." This quote perfectly captures the Stoic belief that our power lies not in controlling the past or the future, but in how we respond to the present moment. Let's take a deeper look at how this Stoic teaching can help us break free from the feeling of being trapped by past decisions. When we feel trapped by past decisions, it's easy to spiral into regret and anxiety. We tell ourselves that because of the choices we made in the past, we're stuck in a situation that we can't escape. Whether it's a job we dislike, a relationship that's no longer fulfilling, or simply a life path that doesn't feel right, we often feel like we've been imprisoned by our own decisions. But Marcus Aurelius teaches us that our future is not shaped by what has happened before, but by how we choose to act now. Stoicism doesn't deny that we may face consequences from past decisions, but it empowers us by reminding us that the present is the only time in which we have real control. By acting with reason and clarity in the present, we can change the course of our lives and make decisions that align with our values, regardless of what has already happened. Think about a situation in your life where you felt stuck by a past decision. Maybe it's a career path you chose, a relationship that didn't turn out the way you hoped, or a location you moved to that no longer feels right? How often do we sit in regret or feel like we can't change things? It's easy to get caught up in what we can't undo. But Stoicism teaches us that our power is in how we act right now, not in the things we can't change. For example, if you're unhappy in your career but feel stuck because you've already invested years into it, Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present. What can you do today to move towards something more fulfilling? Even if you can't undo the past, you have the ability to choose your next step. By taking small, intentional actions toward change, you begin to break free from the feeling of being trapped. This principle aligns closely with the dichotomy of control, a fundamental Stoic teaching that encourages us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. We can't change the past, no matter how much we wish we could, but we can control how we respond to it. We have the power to choose our present actions, and in doing so, we can shape a new future. Stoicism teaches us to stop dwelling on what's beyond our control and instead focus on what we can do now to create a better path forward. How can you apply this in your own life? The next time you feel trapped by a past decision, take a moment to ask yourself, what is within my control today? Instead of ruminating on what went wrong or what you can't change, focus on small actions you can take right now, whether it's setting new goals, having an important conversation, or simply shifting your mindset. Focus on the present and how you can move forward with clarity. For example, if you're feeling stuck in a job you regret, instead of worrying about the years you've already invested, start exploring opportunities that align with your values. Take one step today, research, network, or upskill, to create a path towards something that excites you. Your future is shaped by what you do now, not by what has already happened. I've faced moments in my life where I felt trapped by past choices. One time, I was working in a role that didn't feel fulfilling, and I kept thinking, I've already invested so much time in this, I can't just quit. But when I remembered the Stoic teaching of focusing on what I could control in the present, I realized that I could still make a change. By taking small steps, updating my resume, networking, and pursuing new interests, I was able to shift my focus and eventually find a path that aligned with my passions. The key was to stop letting the past decisions control my present and future. Once I took action, I felt empowered. Now, think about your own life. Where are you feeling trapped by past decisions? How can you shift your focus to what you can control today? Reflect on one action you can take in the present that will move you closer to where you want to be. In Stoicism, one of the central ideas is that we don't have to be controlled by past decisions. It's easy to get caught in the trap of regret and the belief that our future is dictated by mistakes we've already made. Whether it's a relationship that ended poorly, a career path you're unsure about, or a place you chose to live, the Stoic mindset encourages us to focus on the present and the actions we can take now, rather than dwelling on what's already been done. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius helps us navigate these feelings of being trapped. Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason. This quote emphasizes that no matter how stuck we feel because of past decisions, we always have the ability to face what comes next with reason and present action. The key is to focus on what we can control now instead of being overwhelmed by past choices. The Stoic approach to freedom through present action has been a cornerstone of Stoic thought for centuries. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote extensively about finding peace through understanding what we can control and embracing each moment with reason. He reminds us that the future doesn't have the power to disturb us unless we allow it to. The concept of present action can also be seen in the teachings of Epictetus, who was once a slave and had his own fair share of hardships. Epictetus taught that while we can't change the past, we can always decide how we respond to our circumstances in the present. His wisdom emphasized that freedom comes from the choices we make in the present. No matter how limiting or difficult the past may seem, at its core, Stoicism teaches that we have the power to shape our future, but only through our present actions. We cannot go back and undo decisions we've already made. What we can do, however, is take control of how we react to our current situation and decide what steps to take next. When we feel trapped by past decisions, it's often because we are fixated on what can't be undone. Stoicism invites us to stop giving the past so much power. Instead, we can focus on small actions we can take now that will shape our future in a positive way. For instance, if you feel stuck in a career that no longer suits you, Stoicism encourages you to take small steps toward change, rather than dwelling on the years already spent in that job. Your future can still be shaped by the actions you choose today. This mindset helps us break free from the trap of regret and focus on making thoughtful decisions for our future. Consider a real-life example. You've made a career choice that no longer excites you, and it's easy to feel trapped by the years you've already invested. The Stoic approach would be to focus on what you can do today to improve your situation. Start by exploring new opportunities, learning new skills, or having a conversation with a mentor. By focusing on small, intentional actions that move you closer to your goals, you take control of your future instead of feeling paralyzed by past decisions. You empower yourself through present action. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges of the past, but rather focusing on the power you have right now to create a different path. The impact of focusing on present action can have profound effects on our mental health. When we're constantly dwelling on past mistakes or feeling overwhelmed by decisions we can't undo, it creates a sense of powerlessness. Stoicism teaches us that we can regain that power by focusing on the present, what we can do now. This shift in focus helps us stop spiraling into anxiety and regret. Instead of feeling stuck, we start to feel empowered by the choices we are making today. This approach leads to greater mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a deeper sense of freedom, because we're no longer defined by what we can change, but by the actions we're taking now to shape our future. By applying the Stoic principle of freedom through present action, we release ourselves from the weight of past decisions. The future is always uncertain, but we can choose how we face it. One decision at a time. Today, we explored the Stoic concept of feeling trapped by choices you can't undo and how freedom lies in our present actions, not in our past regrets. Marcus Aurelius' wisdom reminds us that while we can't change the past, we can control how we act in the present, and it's through these choices that we shape our future. Stoicism teaches that the key to breaking free from the prison of regret is by focusing on what we can do right now, rather than being held captive by past decisions. So, how can you apply this Stoic principle today? The next time you feel stuck because of a past decision, remember, you still have power. Instead of dwelling on what can't be undone, focus on what you can control, whether that's making small, intentional steps toward change, reflecting on your values, or shifting your mindset. The present moment is yours to shape, and it's through action in the present that you create a future you can be proud of. Take a moment to reflect. What's one decision in your life that you feel trapped by? How can you shift your focus away from regret and toward action? Think about what small step you can take today to move toward the future you want. Remember, even the smallest action today can set the course for a new path. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can keep learning Stoic wisdom to live a more empowered, purposeful life. Share in the comments how you've been able to shift your focus from past regret to present action. What steps are you taking today to create the future you want? To leave you with a final thought, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason. Instead of being held back by past decisions, use your reason and actions in the present to build a future filled with peace, clarity, and freedom.